Well, hello and welcome to day two of HackerOne's virtual live hacking event. As you all may know, every time there is a live hacking event, when we're on site with the hackers, myself and Stoke host the Hacker Couch where we talk about the event, we talk about everything that's around the event, current news, bring in some hackers, and we have a little bit of fun with it. So before we jump into all the fun, I'm gonna quickly switch screens and bring on my good friend Stoke. How you doing, my friend?
Whew, I'm so good. I'm so good. Totally hyped to be here. Thank you very much for having me on the Ramsexy show. And once again, it's amazing to do Hack Couch.
So let's talk about Hack Couch. You and I came up with the Hacker Couch where we were in Vegas. It was the first time we ever did it. We were in H1702. We did 3 nights of it. We were up like at midnight, really, really stressed and tired from hacking and the event, but we still pulled them off.
Yep.
And we took it on the show. We did the last one we did was during we did one in LA in November where we were with Verizon Media. We brought in a few hackers and a few other HackerOne employees as well as Verizon Media team. And we thought, why not do another one today?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. Am I still having audio issues? Is the audio good?
You're good. You sound smooth.
Oh, sweet, man. All right. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I remember when we started to do the Hack Couch in Vegas and the excitement, but we were so tired and standing there all stressed out with just having issues with everything from cameras to audio to streaming quality to whatever. Live streaming has been so much easier lately.
But we're both at home, right? It's easier.
Yes. I'm in my studio, which makes it super, super easy, and I'm getting into that Caribbean vibe today. I'm really, I'm missing summer.
You're dreaming of being on a beach.
That's what it is. I'm missing beach. I'm missing friends. I'm missing drinks. I'm missing good times. So, but I'm here. I'm here with all my friends in the chat and all these cool people that's into hacking. So I'm excited. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Before we get started, I want to see the chat to go a little bit crazy. I don't think this chat is hyped enough for us to get started. We have some really cool stuff we want to talk about. But before we get started, let's get the chat a little bit hyped. I want to hear from everybody that's watching this. And there we go. Drop some bounty, please emotes, and we'll just jump right into it.
Please. Yep, that's what we need to get in.
So how are you doing with all the COVID-19 stuff, man?
It's for me. It's been quite easy going. It's I live in Sweden. We Swedes we practice social distancing by nature, which means that we stand at least 1.5 meters next to each other, just standing in the line waiting for the bus, and then just not talking to random strangers, which is known as your neighbors. You don't talk to anybody if you're living in Sweden. So what I've been doing is that I'm been keeping my routine as usual, but I've been driving from, I live on the countryside, right? So I live really isolated. Then I was driving into the city, park my car, walk a lot of meters away from everyone. There's not many people out, going to my studio, spend most of the time here doing the things that I love. I've been primarily focusing on creating and editing as much content as possible over the last period. And since there's no talks, there's no live hacking events, there's no panels, there's no engagement and all that stuff that I normally do in my day-to-day living life. So it's been, when it comes to content creation, it's been very, very more focused on that area. So it's been fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a majority of us introverts and bounty hunters who don't really go out. I mean, I do go out. I mean, I like the occasional going out to grab food and coming home and, going to do some stuff on the weekend with my wife. But that's been replaced by doing stuff indoors, staying at home, watching movies. We've gone through like 3 documentaries in a couple of days now.
You watching Tiger King though?
Oh, we already finished Tiger King a week ago. That was last week's project. We finished Tiger King in a few days. And did you like Tiger King?
I love anything that has a documentary feel to it. So yeah, absolutely. I swallow a bit whole. Absolutely. And there's
Dude.
drama in there. Just imagine the amount of somebody sitting around there. I wonder if we could find a couple of people that are really fucking weird. and
Dude, I really want to play with a tiger now. Those tigers look so cute. Like, did you see how like playful they are, man? Like, it's scary to have one living with me. I don't want to take care of it. I don't want to get eaten by one. But the idea of having a tiger in our backyard and a little one to play with sounds really, really fun.
But I would say it's a bad thing. Do not go get yourself a tiger. Whatever you do, don't get a tiger. Don't even look at them. Forget about tigers, man. Get another dog. You got 4,000 dogs already. Stick with those. You don't need to be a cat person. That means you got to get into polygamy. You're gonna probably need to build a lot of cages. You're gonna have fights with everybody around you, and just turn into this screaming kind of weird guy. Which you, of course, already are, but
I'm different kind of a streamer, though. Different kind. But hey, before we jump, I want to get this out of the way. Carol was guilty. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Carol seems guilty to me. I'm not gonna talk about it. Don't at me. I'm just saying she's guilty. Let's move on.
Don't at me. Don't at me.
Cool. What do we got going on this week, man? We got VersaCon coming up on Saturday. You also are a speaker at VersaCon. How you feeling?
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that. VersaCon is a really, really cool thing that you and Cybermentor got organized. And what is there left to say? Like, what you're doing is taking or making sure that people in the community share stuff and stay hyped. I mean, it's an amazing thing. It's a trend-setting thing to. I don't know if you guys were the first, but there obviously seems like more and more conferences are turning into virtual. So yeah, I'm excited about my talk. I already pre-recorded it. It sounds weird, but I did pre-record it to make sure that I don't have bandwidth issues. So I've prepared that.
Yeah, I mean, so to be very honest, we asked all of our speakers. Everybody has already given us their talks. Everything is pre-recorded. It's not that we don't want it to be live, but we have live aspects to it. There's going to be live QAs after the talks. There's going to be live interaction with the hackers and the speakers. But the whole point was, I go to a lot of conferences, dude. I live for conferences. I love my B-sides. I love all these different little conferences around the world that happen. And I want to keep going to them, and I want to keep speaking. And, the engagement with the community is the best part of all of it. But unfortunately, with COVID-19, everything getting canceled, there isn't any conference I could go to. So I figured, why not throw our own? So I messaged Cybermentor. I was like, hey, we were doing a fundraiser already for LLS. We got to come up for some money with our campaign. We might as well just host something, entertain the community, get some sponsors to help us with our initiative, get everybody involved, and put something out where everyone is going to enjoy and participate.
Yeah, and you succeeded doing that, right? Doesn't it feel like super empowering to know that what you're doing is you're sharing something for a good cause?
But I can't take credit for it, though. I can't take all the credit for it. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just me and Cybermentor. It was you guys too. All the speakers who chipped in with their talks, with their promotions, with retweeting it, tweeting it, whatever that is. That was really helpful. Yeah. But it's cool to see the bug bounty community coming together, both from a hacker's perspective and a platform perspective, right? If you look at it, every single bug bounty program or platform out there is sponsoring this, and it's powerful to see everyone coming together to see this happen, and I'm very excited to see what everybody is going to bring to the table and how every talk's going to turn out.
Yep. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a full day of awesomeness. And do I understand it right that there's going to be the talks, but it's also going to be a lot of interaction regarding the chats, and you guys are going to do like semi-intermissions kind of stuff? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So the idea is, and this is all on me for not finalizing it just yet. I think today is going to be done. So one thing that happened is, unfortunately, for some personal reasons, Jason Haddix couldn't make it to the talk and to the conference on Saturday. I totally understand it. We had a phone call. He felt really bad. I told him, dude, don't feel bad. The world's on fire right now. The last thing I need is you to feel bad for helping us out. So he's not going to be doing this talk. We're going to do another talk with him. I have a really good format for that, where he's going to present on my channel, and we're going to do some co-streaming together. But going to the live aspect of the talk is, our whole idea is, how can we make a speakers channel so when you do your talk and you're done, you go into Discord where you're the only person that has audio access, but people could ask you questions and you can answer them live and interact with them as well. So if people don't want to, so that's the idea. We're still trying to figure out the little bit of the last minute tweaks and the logistics and all of that, but once that does happen, it's going to be great to have speakers talk to their fans, talk to people that really want to know more about their talk. And I think that'll be very helpful for everybody that's going to be watching too.
Super cool if we can get that AMA interaction, if that's something that's going to be plausible. I think that's a very, very good thing, both for the speakers and the hackers, to have that, the communication going through with reaching out to the community and getting back again.
Yeah, and then
we got a hype train going.
We do. But I want to make sure something understand before we move on from this topic. The talks, when you do your talk, people are always going to be asking questions, and the speakers are also going to be able to answer those questions live as the talk is happening. So it'll be very cool to see how it turns out. I'm very excited. But speaking of streaming, we have been doing something very cool and different on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's we've been doing CTF challenges.
So for people that don't know what CTF Challenge is actually a website. Adam, the co-founder or the founder, messaged us on Twitter and was like, "Hey, can you guys give this a try? I want to get some feedback." We got on 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever that was, and we had a lot of fun with it, and we made it into a regular thing.
Yes.
How has it been for you so far?
How many challenges are in there? They're like 7 or 8, right?
I think there's 7 of them. We have done 2. You, me, and Donut have done 2 of them so far. Big shout out to Donut for joining us each time and helping us at the end.
It wouldn't be possible without getting Donut in. Rust Boy always comes in and saves our asses when I'm too tired.
It's been fun. And this Saturday won't happen, obviously, because of VersaCon. But next Saturday, we're back at it. We'll do some hacking. And get the ball rolling on that.
Absolutely, I really, really, really enjoyed it. It's such a learning progress, and trying to, talk through things. And when you get stuck, you're discussing it, and the whole collaborative thing that you're working together, right? Trying to solve this issue. It's been a thing. I like it.
Yeah, and you just put out a new episode of Bounty Thursday just a few minutes ago before we got live, right?
I did.
Tell me about it a little bit more. What is Bounty Thursday? There's a new format. How does that work?
Bounty Thursday is something that I'm trying out. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but my idea is that I wanted to have something that's audiovisual and engaging and entertaining that would be presented in a video format. Okay. And that's what I wanted. So I want to have something that people could just quick and dirty, 5 minutes, know what's been happening in the bounty space for the last week. Is there any fun things coming out? It is something that I need to look at. Not all of us have time to listen to a full 50-minute long podcast with somebody talking about a lot of news. So I just primarily try out the bite-sized, fast-paced stuff for people to stay inspired and be inspired.
Very cool. You say it's a weekly setup, right? Every week there's going to be a new episode.
It is.
Very cool.
If somebody wonders if these are my poker glasses, they aren't, because when I play poker, I go back to the black ones. So
glasses change.
That is simply how it goes. But these glasses always get me into a great mode. Great mode. But they give away what you're looking at, of course.
Yeah, when I look up, I'm like, is he paying attention, or is he playing games in the background while we talk?
I have no idea. That's cool though.
Let's jump into the virtual hacking.
Yes.
So right now is officially day 2 of the live hacking event. They have done some payouts.
Dupe windows is closed, right? So yes. We're past dupe window. Could you explain a little bit what a dupe window is for the ones that do not understand what a dope dupe window is?
The dupe window is because we're doing a live hacking event. We understand that people are going to find the same bugs. We don't know where we don't want people to lose out on money because they got duped. So for that first week or however long the dupe window is, if you submit a bug and somebody else finds the same bug, you split the bounty. So if 5 people find the same bug, that bounty gets split between 5 other people. And it's our way of making sure everyone gets taken care of for their time and efforts. But looking at the leaderboard right now, $200,000 paid with 4 days left of hacking. What do you think this is going to end up at?
If we're that's the thing. I'm just being. If we're 4 days left of hacking, we're past dupe window. The easy bugs have been submitted. So now it's time to find now it's collaboration. Now it's deep things. And this is potentially where mediums turns into crits. So this is, it could be an area where they are actually starting to collaborate because there's no risk for duping out now. Right. And hopefully that's what's going to accelerate during the last couple of days. I think we can squeeze at least double that amount. I think we're going to end a little bit shy of 400,000.
I think we're going to hit over 500,000. I have faith. I think you're absolutely right, though, with the medium stuff. I think this is where the almost bugs are going to become either a lost cause or actually turn into some really good payouts where people are starting to talk to each other and figuring out how things work, how they can make progress. And I think this is where the collaboration becomes very, very interesting with all the hackers. So,
no, I think. So, do you think we're going to pass by 500,000?
I think
Luke
so.
Tucker, Luke is in the chat. Luke, could you give us the average for the last 3 or 4 events?
We can ask the chat. I want to know what the chat thinks. Chat, what do you think we're going to end up at today? Do you think we're going to hit, or not today, at the end of the event? What do you think, chat? 500,000, 400,000, 1 million? Who knows? I want to see what the chat thinks. 600K from Ash Fox. 400K.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I see some 500K.
400. I'm curious about
443.
It definitely seems like 4, 2.5. Okay, that seems like a good number. So I thought a little bit shy of 400. 450 maybe. But that would be my estimate, depending on since we're past the dupe window now.
Right.
If we really kick in on collaboration now, I hope that's going to happen. Hackers are usually, now that reports are in, they know the attack surface. They're starting to form these minor teams. Collaboration is really starting to kick up. I think this is the time to shine.
Yeah, I think the other aspect of it is like the whole stress of the event is gone now. People are going to be more focused into really diving in deep. And I think more people are willing to share at this point, because if you don't share with somebody at this point to collaborate and escalate things, you're not going to really do much of these endpoints unless you figure it out in the 4 days, even though you haven't figured it out in the last week, right?
No. Yeah, no, that's it. But now maybe, you're sitting on one of those nice almost crits.
Right.
Yeah, well, you're part of the chain. You're not afraid to share any information. You're now ready to collaborate. I think collaboration is going to kick off now.
Yeah, I wanna see how this leaderboard is going to turn out by the end of the week. So Verizon Media today was I think the day they started doing all their payouts. So if anyone wants to look at it, go to HackerOne.live. The leaderboard is live right now for everyone to access. There's some really cool photos being posted. I think you know this more than anybody. Like, one of the best parts of doing these events are all the cool photos and the coverage that comes with it. But because we're all at home, it's cool to see everybody posting a photo. And you can see Luke's face right now wearing the new sweatshirt that you gave him. You have CDL in here. People's workstations. I saw Tom Nom Nom posting a picture of his hair saying he needs a haircut. It's very fun seeing all these different photos right there. And then Ramsexy, of course, with his coffee.
And it's a different thing. This is the first ever virtual live hacking event. Yeah. Nobody knows what to expect. There's been potential things going on before, but this is the time where both HackerOne and Verizon and Verizon Media and the Paranoids have a chance to collect the data. The data that they're getting from this is something that they're able to maybe multiply later. I remember when we had Hack the World, that was a big virtual live hacking event, right? That was like the early stages. Imagine where we could be in, I don't know, give it a month, give it 5 months, maybe 6 months. We're 50 invited right now, 50 as a test round. And then after that, there's going to be more and more potential. I see nothing but huge potential in this being as an alternative to live hacking event. Live hacking events, you cannot remove that feeling of hackers getting together and really, when there's one thing writing things, right? You write things or you're sitting in a voice chat. But if you really, you're having a couple of beers, you're building upon an idea, there's cool things going on. There's a different mindset. You can't remove that. And there's also this, when you've been spending 2 weeks preparing for the live hacking event, you're closing into it, you've been totally focused, and then you get out with your friends, you chill, you have a good time, you have a couple of drinks, you relax, and then your mind starts to relax a bit, and new patterns come in. So there's a big difference there. But I think this might just be something that both companies are onto.
I wonder also, like, if the hackers are self-organizing, talks like this on their own through Discord, Slack, Google Hangouts, whatever, right? I really wonder if people are doing that. And if you're in the chat and participating, let us know. I know HackerOne did some really cool stuff. We did some game nights, Pictionary nights. The same thing with us at work even. We don't have the... for my team, everyone's remote, so we're used to seeing it on the screen. But seeing other teams that are used to being at the office doing these kinds of things has been very, very fun. The creativity has been cool to see what people have done just to combat COVID-19 and making things happen. And I'm glad to see that live hacking events are also going towards that route.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know from my own experience that even though we haven't been or in earlier events, we as Disturbance, we do hangouts anyway. We have our ways of working together in collaboration and sharing stuff. So we're not new to this. We are living in different time zones. So we have to prepare for any kind of live hacking events. We're doing this kind of warm up. The only difference is that now we're not seeing each other in the same place.
Yeah. Do you think Black Hat and DEF CON will happen this year? What's your take on it, dude?
I would say no, but I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but it's going to take at least 1 year for a good, trustworthy vaccine coming out. Bear with me here. We don't want to have narcolepsy like they did with the other vaccine, right? So they're going to be very, very careful now. And if maybe this blows over in a couple of months, maybe summer would hit and the viral season would lower a bit, there's a big, big, big chance that there will be a less risk for contamination. Maybe we'll even have like a hive resistance, but it's too early to say. It's too early to say.
Yeah. I think even with even if there was a vaccine, people are still going to be very weird about traveling, I think, and that's going to take a toll on any conference, including Black Hat and DEF CON. But I agree. I don't think we are really there yet with a vaccine and any medication for it. It would be sad to miss DEF CON. All these jokes of saying DEF CON got canceled for, however 20 years it's been. Everyone's saying every August, DEF CON gets canceled. Well, guess what? This year you're going to tweet that joke and it's going to be for real and everyone's going to be crying about it and be upset.
No, but that's it. That's the thing. I've said this before, and this is my personal opinion. This is no research, nothing else behind that. But there's always going to be a time for us. That's going to be the time we remember as time before and after the pandemic. This is going to have a global change on everything, like air travel, like planes and everything. There's a lot of companies that's not going to be around, and we know that. And just getting 50,000 hackers together at DEF CON in 4 months seems not really plausible to me.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think DEF CON's probably going to work on something virtual, perhaps, like figuring out a way of making DEF CON happen at a large scale with, streams and speakers and all that good stuff. But I don't know if it's going to be an in-person element where, we're going to be in Vegas, kind of messed up and drunk, playing some slot machines and gambling. But I think they're still going to pull off something of some sort.
Probably going to have slot machines where you win hand sanitizer. That's probably what's going to happen.
Or toilet paper, right? Because apparently toilet paper is gold right now. Cool. Let's jump into a little bit of the stuff that you covered on Bounty Thursday. I'm gonna actually switch our screen again I'm going to show off the CTF thing really quickly because I realized that I never showed what it looks like. If you're wondering what CTF challenge looks like, this is their website on the right. Pretty cool website. They have a lot of good challenges. I definitely love doing what we did. It's been very fun. I learned a ton of stuff from doing it. It also makes you think a lot, like, oh, but maybe I could do this a bug bounty program. So if you heard us talk about it, if you heard it on Stokes' channel as well, this is the site if you want to check it out. We don't have it on the channel, but you can check it out right there. The next thing you talked about was
.uk.
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to talk about on the topic of CTFs. So on the topic of doing VersaCon, VersaCon actually has a CTF now. Did you know?
No. Tell me about it.
So John reached out to us and he said that he wants to help us with the CTF, and we created a CTF for VersaCon. So if you want to play it out, go to ctf.versacon.com right there, and you can sign up. You can play with teams. Shout out to my Nahomies. I know you're in the chat. I have a team called Nahomies. I'm gonna be cheering for them to win because I'm biased. They're my Nahomies, right? And also on the topic of VersaCon, if you haven't signed up yet, if you go to versacon.com right here, you can also sign up. You can see all of our donors. You can donate. You don't have to donate. Everything is free. If you want to come watch Stoke, Tom Nom Nom, Donut, Chloe Mastagi, Dawn, Benak, Ethical Hacker. Who else am I missing? Nidens. Shoot, I don't want to miss anybody. Yes. Zshano. Of course, everyone's going to be
Uranium
there.
Hacker.
Uranium Hacker, of course. Go to the website. You can also use the VersaCon command on the chat, and it will give you all the information you need.
Regarding the whole question in the chat, that was don't use automated tools. It's not needed. That's the thing. You don't fucking drive up to a CTF running Nessus.
Yeah, please
use your brain. That's the thing. It's like you has to get in there and just play around with it. Your mindset. It's your brain that needs to work, not your tools for you. And if you don't understand what your tools do, don't use them.
And you shouldn't need any tools. To be very clear, you shouldn't need any tools for any of the CTF. It's all absolutely you don't need Nmap, you don't need SQL map, none of that. Please don't use any tools. And of course, the schedule is up on the website too. I'll drop it on here for the schedule if anyone wants to see it. But enough talk about VersaCon. I saw a few things that you mentioned in your Bounty Thursdays.
Bounty Thursdays. Yep.
So
what did I mention?
You talked about ZLZ did a talk of some sort?
Yep, he did. Oh, it was so cool. I didn't see the talk itself. I wish there's going to be a recording of it. It was virtual.
So that would be it.
He had a talk that was named, let's see if I can get back to this. I can read. Oops, I went full screen on all this.
I pulled up your channel really quickly, not realizing that it's going to play a sound, so I went back to the slides. Now, the slides from ZLZ is up on the screen as well, so people could see it too.
Perfect. That's great. So if we can just walk through those a little bit, because it's called attacking secondary context in web application. And what that actually means is that if you just go to the first slide, there's going to be first, second, or third. It's the one where he says, this is the way I thought web servers worked, and this is actually how they work. Because it's really, really intuitive, the way that it's introducing you into website routing, right? And the whole concept where fuzzing an API using weird characters and other stuff, it's kind of the new way of approaching things. If you remember Franz Rosen's talks from Ahmedabad, where it's all about fuzzing APIs, it's kind of the same thing. It's that research. You need to understand that there's routing and proxies in front of almost anything nowadays, and it's just not a website just answering in a certain way. And this is really, really interesting because it gives you that you need to wrap your mind around it a little bit. I really, really enjoyed it.
And I think it's also a topic of pattern recognition, right? Like ZLZ recognizes pattern with Verizon Media, Yahoo, and he has tested this out on every single application that belongs to them in different variation. But looking at that pattern and understanding how it works and being able to exploit regularly is a huge deal, because you have to make sure you look out for those at a scale and not just this target that you're looking at for this one specific moment, right?
Yes. And all the way, please put some extra interest to understanding what he's talking about when he's talking about the path traverser using special characters to understand how the routing works. And it feels like path traversal is something that we kind of used to think about, but that is really coming back in full force now. There's been more and more things happening with that. Space Raccoon did a really, really cool presentation. I'm talking about this briefly it's a write-up, but it's briefly touching on it on Bounty Thursdays as well. And it's so cool where he uses this XML file and he uses a zip bomb to pass traverse back and unzip a web shell into a certain directory using the XXE to understand exactly where to put the file, because he gets that local file read, puts the file there, is then able to execute it to an RCE. So it's like 3 different kinds of attack styles together as one. And it's beautiful, written. Eugene is a master when it comes to that.
This is a very it's a very, very cool technique that, it's been very fun to see it come out through bug bounties. A few years ago, I think back in 2014, I'm looking for the link for it. Facebook actually had the same kind of issue where somebody did the same thing. They uploaded a zip file. They posted onto a website that belonged to. Sorry, let me step back. It was a symlink that you could put a Etsy password to a linked file. You upload your symlink within a zip, and when you open it back up through Facebook, it gave you access to read local files. That came out in 2014, and it's cool to see 6 years later this vulnerability. I put on the screen again for people to watch as well. It's coming back and making an appearance. It shows that it doesn't matter how old these techniques are; they still work as long as you understand how to use them, right?
Yes. And and I'm madly in love with this. And do not underestimate the power of what this community has been producing way, way, way many years before. If you're new and you're coming in, please take time to understand all the things that have been put out before and try to contribute by doing it yourself. I'm in no way near understanding half of the shit that's out there, but each and everything that I learn, I try to bring back, in a new way. Even though it's old research, new people will be able to receive it, and then just try to get that, giving back to the original creators. Sometimes you don't really know who the original creators are, because maybe you just found that information in a GitHub repo that somebody else stole, but it's worth at least to try.
Yeah, I think that this is where, when we talk to hackers, we say, hey, if you want to get good at hacking or become better, the best thing to do is to read every single write-up that's out there, right?
Yeah, but that's going to burn you out, because if you read every single write-up out there, it's like reading the OWASP top 10 or reading the whole Bible for the fun of it.
Exactly, but I mean, like, even if you don't understand something, like, let's say you come across a symlink thing, you don't fully understand it, but having that planted in your mind to know, oh, this attack exists, and when you need it, you can always go back and revisit it, right? So it helps you read these things and keep that in the back of your mind or in your tool belt, whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely. I'm so hoping that I'm able to one day look back at this and say, I know everything about OWASP top 10 plus. But yeah, it's going to take a while. That's
so
cool.
If you see me distracted right now, it's not that I'm not paying attention. I'm pinging a few hackers since we're at the end of our show almost. I want to ping a few hackers to see if they want to join our stream really quickly. Bring them with audio at least and see if they want to talk. I think I'm gonna send an invite to Luke really quickly. Luke Tucker, Senior Director of Community at HackerOne, also my boss. I'm gonna send him an invite really quickly and bring him on and talk to him about this really quick.
I have no idea if Naf is awake now. He's in the Australia, and I'm not sure. People are asking if we can put Nafi on. It seems like HackerOne sent out the tweet saying that maybe he will be on, and
I'm messaging him right now. Yeah. I'm messaging him right now, and I have access to him on Facebook. He's usually awake, but we'll see. So I invited Luke.
I would love to get him on though, but if that doesn't happen, we weren't really prepared for that.
I think that tweet got taken out of context. The joke was about the photo that we had, and who knows if he's gonna show up. But I'm messaging him right now. If he does join us, then we'll have him on.
Cool. That'll be amazing. All right. So we also talked about. Let's see here. What did we touch upon? What did we miss? Okay. I got a question for you. Codingo were on your stream this Sunday, right?
Yes, he actually came on the stream on Sunday. I'll put out the video before everybody asks where's the video. I promise I'll put it out soon. He came on. Yep. It was a very good talk. I've actually never had... So I was very nervous interviewing Codingo. I never get nervous when I do these interviews. But what made me super nervous was he's a very knowledgeable dude, right? And I've never had the chance to get to talk to him like that. It was the first time I've ever had a conversation with him in person over audio. It was really cool talking to him. And he also dropped a tool. I haven't worked with it yet, but he pretty much rewrote something similar to FFUF or FUF, as you want to call it. Crit hit, yeah, and I put it on the screen too, and I'll post a link to it on the chat if you want to check it out. I haven't tested it out, but it seems like a really, really cool idea. But I love that he coordinated that with the stream to get it out there at the same time.
And it's so amazing to see that even the most hardened hackers, he's an amazing bounty hunter, and he's in the position he's currently at Bugcrowd, trying to expand their part of the community and doing all the research. It's amazing how much imposter syndrome that both he and Haddix and everyone else just has, and I think I wouldn't say I think it's cute, but I think it's human.
It's relatable
to be worried about not knowing everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's cool to hear, I mean, it's cool to hear somebody else's perspective on these things, and somebody at that level who has done all these things, who's done pen tests professionally, who writes tools, and the list goes on with the amount of work he has done, and seeing him struggle with the same stuff as we do, right?
Yeah.
Here is Mr. Senior Luke Tucker. How you doing, my friend?
You called.
Oh, Luke's here. Sweet. Good to see you,
doing,
buddy.
my friend?
I didn't bring my 5 pairs of sunglasses to do a wardrobe change like Stoke does in between.
There's always a next time.
Scene change. New glasses. New man.
That's how it is.
I
got a huge collection of sunglasses. I love sunglasses.
There we go.
I'm proud of you.
How are you doing with the events, man? How's it going?
The event is crushing. This virtual event we're doing for the very first time. These events take so much coordination, collaboration between us and the paranoids, in this case for our customer, working with the hackers. It's been a joy to do it. It's, Ben, we've been talking internally and sharing with different hackers, like in the world we're in with COVID-19, like so much of travel is the anticipation, right? The joy of planning somewhere where you're going to go and what you're going to get to do. And these events obviously have that component. We were going to be in Singapore and thinking a year ago, another wardrobe change.
I'm going to join on this. Hold on. I'm going to listen and join in on this while you guys do it.
Where we get always this hoodie life, man. We got to get this.
Yep.
Is this the Naomi? I need that T-shirt that Ben has that says "Hack, Eat, Sleep, Repeat," which was taken in Buenos Aires at the top of the hotel during the H15411 live hacking event.
And it's hands down one of the greatest photos that HackerOne has ever taken. If not, it's top 5, if not the greatest one, right? I may be a little bit biased to this, but
the way he's standing there, he's looking like this.
Can we all put our hoodies on?
Cities behind there.
All right, are we hacker enough right now? All black hoodies.
It feels like I think we're hackers now. We got hoodies up, sunglasses on. Boom.
All right, chat. Tell me, do we look hacker enough right now? Twitch ban incoming. Oh, don't even joke about that. That's not funny.
I gotta look at this stream. It's gonna be embarrassing.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but going back to live hacking, it's exciting to see everything that's happening around it. It's cool to see how we're keeping up the momentum and the excitement with the virtual aspect, right? Like one of the biggest things for us is when we're all together in person, it makes it more fun. But it's cool to see all these small chats, these kind of hangouts. The hackers organizing their own hangouts, live Pictionary through the internet, and the list goes on. It's fun to see how we've changed the format. While the core idea stays the same, right? What do you think we're gonna hit?
And there's more to come.
What do you think we're gonna hit bounty-wise?
CTS.
What you got? What you got? Can you tease us something? Is there any kind of good jazz they can get out to the community now?
We mentioned this a bit yesterday, and Stoke, you brought it up earlier. It's something called Hack the World. When we talk about a suite of online hacking experiences, virtual live hacking events, which we're in the midst of now, and a lot of our content this week is talking about and celebrating. That's an idea we've had for a while, and this is a forcing function to come to the table and say, let's partner with the Paranoids to do this. We couldn't go to Singapore. Let's make this happen. And we all kind of just were synergistic and came aligned, and it's like, we got to do more of these. We're getting more conversations and requests from different customers, so expect more.
Right.
The other thing is, it's not just, we can create CTF challenges that are way more engaged in online. That would be something fun. We got our Hacker 101 CTF, head of hacker education here named Nahamsek.
Who's that guy?
That can help lead that charge. And then Hack the World would be like a month or 2 months, or maybe it's a World Cup kind of theme. Who knows? But this year should be the year where we keep pushing the envelope on virtual hacking experiences. What do you guys think?
I think that's great.
You're nailing it on the head. I think with everything that's happening in the world, it's showing us why we need more of anything in the world. I'm not talking about just live hacking events, but it's showing that the virtual aspect of everything in life. Everyone's getting, I see my friends throwing, Zoom hangouts just to drink together. They wouldn't doing any of this if people wouldn't have done this kind of things if it wasn't for this unfortunate virus, right? But it's cool to see everybody stepping up, and I love to see HackerOne doing a broader way of, we talk about with hacking the Hack the World stuff and making it a experiment for everybody, right? So it's really cool seeing where it's headed.
Hey, so I got a question for you, Stoke.
Bring it.
What has been your favorite, two things? What is your favorite live hacking event ever? And what's your favorite live hacking event recap vlog you've done?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Wow.
Very good question.
I would say my favorite ever has to be H1 I don't have any video out there, and it primarily has to do because I love the concept that was surrounding that, the forced team collaboration. It seems idiotic, but it kind of, I really like that whole thing, in that it was a 2-day event with 2 targets. So you will enter one day, there will be one target, then you will shield, and there will be another target launching the next day in the morning. So you're ready, and when your scope drops as soon as that day closes, so you can decide either sleep that night or fuck yourself up, which we mostly did. Like not getting any sleep, getting super excited, pumped about the new scope, getting 24 hours to do whatever you can to get as much I think as possible, and then the next day, as that team that you formed, like if you had 2 weeks to form a team, then you had 1 day hacking, then you had 1 day of exploding on a new target that was untouched. And you knew that it was untouched. It wasn't like, oh yeah, this is it's a part of a scope that's been live. You knew that this is like a pen test situation. Things are going to be turned into flames. And I love that concept because it was like a super, super, super CTF at that stage. Things were broken. You just had to find them. I would say the best recap blog would probably be, I really liked Singapore. Singapore was the H165 was the hotel that we stayed at was amazing. And just having the possibility to chill with the homies over since BountyCon were at the same time, there were 2 conferences rolling back to back, and I really, really, really enjoyed that. The venue that we hacked at, the different kind of room setting, I really liked that too. So H165 Singapore, absolutely favorite video recap event, but New York 212, favorite the way it was designed.
Before we keep talking, I want to acknowledge two new folks who just joined us. Mark Litchfield, there he is, and of course we have Corbin, aka CDL. I knew Mark was going to show up with a cigarette. I was hoping you would. I was really hoping you would show up with a cigarette.
Mark looks like he belongs in like the Italian mafia.
I so hope he has a Heineken.
Dude, it's 6:50 a.m. where I'm at. That's way too early for Heineken.
That has never stopped you, though.
Is it an early morning or early night? Is it an early morning or late night for you, Mark? Is it an early morning or early night?
It's 6:50 a.m.
Oh, we're getting a lot of audio bounce.
A lot of feedback. So if you guys could bring down the volume or mute when we don't speak up, it would help us a little bit. Corbin, you are one of the hackers on the life hacking event right now, who's not a part of this stream. How you doing, man? How's it going with hacking? Are you losing your mind over all this? Stressed? Happy? What's going on?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. Kind of hit like a dry spell like very, very recently. Like I had some fun bugs. Fun in the event. And up to the dupe window. But since that dupe window hit, I've been kind of like in a dry spell and trying to find something new to target or take a break from what I was targeting before.
How's the experience so far being remote?
I don't know. It's kind of nice, honestly. Like definitely used to like the actual live events where it's like a day or like 2 days. It's kind of nice to have this like span of time because I'll see something and like I'll like take a note of it and then I'll come back like a day, 2 days later and be like, oh, like I totally missed this. It was right here in front of me. It's nice to be able to just have that like few days of the event where it's like still going on. You're like, oh wait, I can go back to this and this is actually a bug, or I completely missed this bug here. Where like actually understand like what might be happening back end now. So I've enjoyed like the longer span of time and like the flexibility of like times I can hack and stuff too. So that's pretty helpful.
How's it going with like working with Verizon Media, HackerOne, or even other hackers, since you guys are not in the same building? You know, you're not just a few feet away when you walk across and you just, show them the laptop and ask them questions.
I don't know. I think it's probably easier for everyone because I know that like at like some events I see like Mark working in his area just dealing with a ton of crap. I feel bad going up to him because like, oh, he's super busy right now. Don't interrupt him. It's kind of nice. He has like office hour slots and people from Verizon have those office hour slots. And it's almost easier also just to ping them on Slack. Then they'll get back to you when they have the time. You're not pissing people off. So it kind of works out almost better for everyone.
Mark, how's it going with you guys?
Me when you have questions, Corbin. Don't worry about it.
I think, Corbin, you of all people, I don't think you've ever pissed off anyone in your life. I'm pretty sure you're like a kind
I think you're too nice of a person to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, you seem like too nice of a person to piss anybody off, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I've a way with like, I promise I didn't mean to do this, but I like took something offline or I usually don't piss people off. I think I would say I concern people. I've concerned one of your TPM several times. If you ask Bill about me, he's like, I'm gonna have to start paying for his like medical insurance and stuff just in case he has a heart attack. He says,
he's just being dramatic. I'll make sure.
Yeah, it's classic.
So it looks like we have one more guest joining us.
Is Ramsexy coming in?
I think he's here. There he is, representing Team Canada.
Ooh, this is great. Becoming a great hack couch. Even better. I mean, before we kick off asking Ramsexy, I was gonna ask, how's quarantine?
My quarantine, it's pretty good. I've been doing Airbnbs recently, and I'm just training and hacking, so it's pretty good. It's a good way to spend the time here.
So, are you still working with Team Canada?
Yeah, I'm with Team Canada. So actually, we call it Team Canada, but Tux is not actually Canadian, but he's a fellow Canadian anyway. And with Sebastian's, three of us.
Are you guys working remote, or are you guys in an Airbnb right now? Are all three of you together right now, or are you distancing?
No. I'm just on my own, and then we just like calling each other. Sebastian is in Quebec, and Tux in Germany. So yeah.
Very cool. How is it going with you guys hacking? How's the experience like so far hacking? Remote.
It's fine. It's the scope is kind of tough. I don't know if we can say much about the scope, but let's just say it's not in English. Like everything is a foreign language, so it gets complicated.
You gotta overcome those problems, man. You gotta hit that Google Translate and let it do it by default, right?
Yeah, Chrome auto translate everything.
Yeah, but when you're testing like APKs and stuff, it gets tough.
Oh yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
So I got a question for Mark. Since this is your first actual, like really, paranoids are always trying to push the envelope when it comes to coming up with new stuff. And you're now, what is it, like 2 years into being on the other side, or is it 1 year?
It'll be 2 years in August.
Cool. And I know that you guys are always trying to experiment with new ideas and such. How has this so far paid out for you? Has it been like easier or harder?
Every live event has its challenges. I mean, this is virtual, so obviously it brings new ones. But so far, along with HackerOne, everything has been fantastic. It's been a success, in my opinion.
Awesome. That's great. And if you give us a number, would that be, are we passing 400? Are we passing 500?
Yeah, what do you think we're going to hit, man? What are you going to, what's your talk? We're taking bits right now. What do you think we're going to hit?
I think it will surpass 500,000.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I agree. What do you guys think?
Good to hear.
Corbin and Ramsexy, what do you guys think?
I mean, Verizon always pays all crazy stuff, so I mean, whatever Mark says goes.
And no, Corbin's been putting in, you know what, we've had some really awesome bugs drop in, like some fantastic ones. And Corbin, he's dropped in some really good ones. Ramsexy also. So everyone is doing great. But like I said, we've had some really, really good findings. I'd like to see people shift from the scope everyone's currently looking at, because the scope that's actually included in this event is large. But everyone seems to be focusing on two particular targets. So it'd be nice to see a shift.
So are you guys going to drop any kind of pointers in the upcoming days to help people to steer over towards a certain area that you want to have hackers to look deeper into? Because, you know, if you get, let's say that you got a phone book, right? And it's presented to you, there's a lot of pages in there. And first you do a flyover, you're like, just going them through, and then you're looking at the pictures, right? More or less. And then you're diving into this search your yellow pages area. But if you guys want the hackers to be more engaged, let's say in the beginning or the selection part, is that something that you're going to hint them during this event?
Well, I know if I was on the other side, I would naturally start moving to the other scope. I mean, for the first part, everyone was obviously using the credentials they were given, which I get. But now the dupe period has ended, you would have to think that that particular attack surface area is being heavily examined over the last week. So if I was on the other side, I would already make that decision myself and start looking at the other pieces of scope.
By the way, speaking of, sorry to jump in. Speaking of being on the other side, how is it going? How is the experience being on the other side? I know we've talked about this a few times, but you know, it's got to be different being on the non-hacking and the actual like organizing part of this, right?
It's an interesting one because I mean, Verizon Media, we always try to like push the boundaries on our events. So I see what we're doing our side, and then I see what all the hackers are doing their side, and I'm like, God damn it, I wish I was on the other side of this. But it's what it is. But I'm here. I've got all the hackers' backs if needed, and it's definitely different. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's like one thing I really appreciate about like Mark too, is that he has that like real world like bug bounty like hunting experience too. Like he knows like where we're coming from a lot. I think that's super useful. Like I've talked to other people from like other companies before, and the people who have the experience like doing bug bounties on their own, I feel like are just a lot easier to work with because they know where we're coming from, and they do a good job of explaining because they know what we're like expecting or like what we're looking for. So I think that's like super useful too. So yeah, I'm thankful for Mark.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
Mark is definitely on our side for sure. Thanks, Mark.
CDL and Ramsexy. Did I mention you guys are brown nosers? Oh yeah, by the way,
Yes,
Mark,
Dad.
I'm really
Whatever.
jealous of your haircut. I
Whatever.
love your hair, dude.
Yeah, I haven't even showered, so I'm pretty stinky right now.
All right, we're almost out of time. We have to wrap this up. Unfortunately, we are on the last minute of the show. I want to thank both, not both, all three of you, Ramsexy, Luke, Corbin, and also Mark, all four of you actually joining. I lost count as how many people we have had on this show so far. Unfortunately, though, it is time to say goodbye to the four of you. Still going to have to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys jumping in and talking through us and letting us know how your experience has been so far. I appreciate it so much, and I will hopefully all talk soon.
Thanks for the include, Ben. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks, Ben.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Ben.
it.
Take
See you
care.
guys.
Bye.
All right, Stoke.
Amazing. It's always so cool when we have this. So everybody just knows this was dynamic. This just happened. It's usually how things just happen when we play around with stuff. Can we get somebody on and we get a bunch of awesome people on? Oh yeah.
We did. We definitely winged it, as I would say. We winged this entire thing, and it turned out to be very, very cool. I want to make a huge shout out to everybody that's been watching so far. Thank you to all the new subs. Thank you to all the new followers. I usually try and shout everybody that's subscribed or followed. So big thank you to Bitcode, Just Another Grats, Despida, Gilontius, Humor for Fun, Patris, VD, Rebel, Sean, Ahab, Bounty, Bitcode again, Harold, Mosaic. There's so many. The list goes on. I want to say thank you so much for all the new subscriptions. Thank you for supporting me, and a big thank you to Stoke for co-hosting this with me as always and being my partner in crime and all this. If you didn't catch this live, it will go on YouTube. We'll definitely upload it for everybody to watch. But a big thank you again, man. I appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a little bit late on your time. It's your almost evening, afternoon. But I want to say a big thank you to you for joining and making this happen with me.
And we're not going to do CTFs this Saturday because it's going to be VersaCon. Anyone that's interested in bounties and hacking should sign up and be ready for VersaCon this Saturday. But the Saturday thereafter, we're back on solving CTFs again.
And before we get off, tomorrow we have a panel with you and a few other hackers to talk about how to get started in InfoSec generally. So if you want to tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m., we'll be back, both myself and Stoke, with a few other guests. We're going to have a lot of fun and talk about all of our hacking experience and how we got started.
Yep.
But until tomorrow,
Absolutely.
I'm done for the day. I love everybody. I love you guys all for joining this. Thank you, Stoke, again, and we'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
That'll be it. Take care. Bye.
See you all.